People often say that power reveals who someone really is. But psychology suggests something more complex. Power doesn't just reveal character, it changes the way the brain perceives the world, other people, and even itself. This is why individuals who once seemed empathetic, grounded, or fair can begin to act differently after gaining authority. They may become more decisive, more detached, or in some cases more reckless. The change is rarely sudden, and it's rarely intentional. It unfolds quietly, as the mind adapts to a new position in the social hierarchy. To understand why power changes people, we need to understand how the brain responds to control and status. Power reduces constraint. When someone gains authority, they experience fewer immediate consequences for their actions. Their decisions are questioned less often. Their mistakes are softened or explained away by others. Over time, this reduction in resistance changes behavior. The brain learns that actions no longer require the same level of caution. This doesn't make someone inherently worse, but it does make self-regulation more difficult. Constraints act as psychological boundaries. When those boundaries disappear, behavior expands into the space they once occupied. Power also alters attention. People in positions of authority tend to shift their focus inward, not because they become selfish by choice, but because power reduces the need to monitor others closely. When you depend on someone, you pay attention to them. When others depend on you, the dynamic changes. This subtle shift can reduce empathy, not out of cruelty, but out of altered perspective. Studies in social psychology have shown that powerful individuals are more likely to interrupt, less likely to notice emotional cues, and more likely to rely on stereotypes. These changes aren't conscious decisions. They're cognitive shortcuts that emerge when the brain perceives itself as dominant. There's also a biological component. Power is associated with changes in hormone levels, particularly testosterone and cortisol. Testosterone can increase confidence and risk-taking, while lower cortisol levels reduce stress sensitivity. This combination can create a sense of invulnerability. When stress decreases, caution often decreases with it. The person feels calmer, more certain, and less threatened. But that calm can come at the cost of perspective. Without the emotional signals that once encouraged restraint, decisions can become more extreme. Another reason power changes people is identity shift. When someone gains power, their role in the social system changes. Expectations change. The way others interact with them changes. Over time, these external signals reshape self-concept. The individual begins to see themselves as someone who leads, decides, or commands. Identity is powerful because behavior tends to follow it. If you see yourself as an authority, you're more likely to act authoritatively. If you see yourself as exceptional, you may begin to believe normal rules apply less to you. This doesn't require arrogance, it only requires repetition. Power also creates distance. Authority often separates people from honest feedback. Subordinates may hesitate to speak openly. Friends may become cautious. Criticism softens or disappears altogether. Without corrective feedback, blind spots grow. The person may believe they're acting reasonably, even as their behavior becomes increasingly detached from reality. History is full of examples of leaders who started with strong principles and gradually drifted away from them, not because they abandoned their values consciously, but because power slowly insulated them from challenge. Over time, certainty replaced reflection. This is one of the most dangerous effects of power. It reduces self-doubt. Doubt, while uncomfortable, serves an important psychological function. It forces re-evaluation. It invites alternative perspectives. When power eliminates doubt, confidence can turn into rigidity. Decisions feel justified simply because they come from authority. Importantly, power doesn't corrupt everyone in the same way. Context matters. Accountability matters. Self-awareness matters. People who remain grounded often have systems that counterbalance power, honest advisors, strong values, or environments that encourage feedback. But without those counterbalances, power tends to amplify existing tendencies. Someone inclined toward empathy may become more generous. Someone inclined toward control may become more authoritarian. Power doesn't create traits from nothing, it magnifies what's already there. The lesson here isn't to fear power, but to understand it. Power is a psychological force. It reshapes perception, emotion, and behavior. Recognizing its effects allows individuals and societies to design systems that prevent its worst consequences. Transparency, accountability, and humility aren't moral luxuries, they're psychological safeguards. For individuals in power, self-reflection becomes more important, not less. And for those around power, questioning becomes an act of responsibility, not defiance. People don't change after gaining power because they forget who they are. They change because power quietly changes how the brain works. And understanding that is the first step toward using power wisely, rather than being shaped by it.